Okay, so for Ross chapter 22, we've been going over the exercises here. Let's see if there aren't any more questions that we can take care of here. Anybody have any questions about the homework? We've gone through quite a few of these, but we can do more. Okay, let's read number 5 together. Ready? Al ta'azov et malkaha ba'et hatzara. Okay, great. So, look what I have here. I have al ta'azov. The prefix conjugation verb here, ta'azov, has all in front of it. So, can this be the imperfect conjugation? No. It's with all, it has to be the adjective, right? With the prefix tav and no ending, what are my two possibilities for that?
3FS or 2MS.
Remember, I could be 3FS or 2MS. It could be she, a woman, or you, man, right? Okay. What does azav mean? Those are my root letters. Who remembers what azav means? To forsake. To forsake. So, all ta'azov means? What? Okay. Well, when I want to negate a second person imperative, I can use all plus the adjective or lo plus the imperfect second person. And it's going to be translated as don't do that or thou shalt not do that, right? Which one of these is going to be the don't do that? The all plus the adjective. Thou shalt not do that is lo plus the imperfect second person. Okay? So if this is second person with all, I'm going to say don't forsake. Don't forsake. If it's adjective third feminine singular, then it will be the let her not forsake or may she not forsake. Okay? Now, I have to keep reading to know which is the better choice, third feminine or singular or 2MS. I have the ka here on mal kaha. That's whose king? Your king. So probably this is a command to a you, right? So don't forsake, you man. Don't forsake whom? Et malkaha? Your king. All right, so what's this et doing? Yeah, it's marking direct object. What kind of direct object does et mark? Definite. Is malkaha a definite direct object? Definitely. Right? Not because of an article, but because of a pronominal suffix. That's right. Good. If I wanted to take the et as with, it would be don't forsake along with your king, and then I'd be waiting for what? We're not to forsake. But there isn't a direct object anywhere in the sentence. So we want to go with the direct object marking et here. So don't forsake your king then. When? Ba'et hatzara. We've seen this expression somewhere else. What is this? In the time of, the distress. Now, this word distress has the article, but we could probably drop it in there in our English translation, in the time of distress. It could be that there is a particular distressing time coming that the writer has in view, and that may be why it's articular, but still in English we probably wouldn't put the definite article in our translation. All right, good. Is that clear? All right, now let's just look at the form ta'azov for just a minute. we labeled this as adjective to ms, but we didn't indicate which stem we're looking at, whether it's kal, nifal, pl, pual, hifal, hofal, or hithpael. What am I going to look for to know whether I should take this as the kal versus, say, the hifil or something else? What vowel pointing is important to me? Where do I want to be looking? Well, okay, so the prefix tav has a pathak under it, and that's characteristic of what? The A-class vowel there. Under the prefix tav? Yeah, the hifil could get that. But there's another stem that can get it in the right condition. And that's the kal when it has what? When it has a guttural in root 1 position. And is ion a guttural? Yes. So I could see that pathak with the compound shiva here as well. So what do I have to look at next to know for sure? I got to look at my theme vowel, which is the vowel associated with which root letter? Root 2. And look, it's a holum. Is holum characteristic of the hifil stem? No. What vowel class am I looking for in the hifil? The hifil. it's a Keurig yod, which is an I-class vowel, right? Hifils are going to get I-class vowels with root 2. And here I've got a holum, which is characteristic of which stem in the imperfect? It's the cal, right? So this is the cal just of 3fs or 2ms. So if it were the hifil, I'd be getting a Keurig yod there. Al ta'aziv, as opposed to ta'azov. Okay? So that's why I'm going to go with don't forsake, as opposed to don't cause others to forsake, right? We don't need to add a causative notion to this because it's not hifil. Okay, good. Anybody have any other questions or exercises you want to work on? Yeah, let's look at number 10. That's a good short one, isn't it? All right. Let's read number 10 together. Ready? Isrum usuraftum. Okay, let's read that again. Isrum usuraftum. Okay. So I have isrum, which looks like it could be a verb. If I had an eem ending, I might think it might be a masculine plural noun, but that's not eem, that's right? So what would be my 3 root letters here on isrum? Asar. Is this one of our new verbs? What does asar mean? Okay, to gather. Yeah, asar. So I have asar, but with a Keurig under the first root letter. Where do I see Keurigs under root 1? There's a couple places I could see it. Okay. In the PL, which conjugation pattern of the PL gets it? The perfect. Good. But also in the cal, if it's what? If it's an imperative and it takes a vocalic ending in the imperative. What are my vocalic endings in the imperative? Keurig yod for 2fs and shurik for 2mp. All right? If you remember your strong verb paradigm for the cal imperative, I have pekod, but pikdi and pikdu, right? The Keurig shows up here in the cal. Pikdi, pikdu. Back to vocal shiva, pekodna for the 2fp. So those two are vocal shiva under root 1. These two are Keurig under root 1. Pikdi, pikdu. Look at that. All right. So asar is not to collect, but to bind or tie. So this is isru. So there's my shurik. That is for which person, gender, number in the cal imperative? It's 2mp, and then the mem is what? Yeah, that's the 3mp suffix here, okay? So it's cal, imperative, 2mp. So how are we going to translate this? Bind them. And then we have u saraftum. What's my root letters here on this verb? Saraf. And that means to do what? To burn. But look what I have here. I have saraf, and then I've got tum. Is tum a personal ending, the whole thing? It's not. Is any part of this a personal ending? Yeah, what? Okay, the mem is a pronominal suffix, and that's 3mp, but the personal ending is 2. So what's going on here? That's right. Tem and ten become 2 in the perfect conjugation before I can add a pronominal suffix. All right, tem and ten become 2. So this is 2mp or 2fp or 2 common plural. So here I have my 3 root letters and a perfect ending with a vav in front of it, following an imperative. So is this just a perfect with the vav, or is it a WCP form that takes on the volitional semantics of the preceding imperative? Yeah, it's a WCP form, okay? And this is the cow vowel pattern, seraftem. Remember, pakad becomes pukadtem. All right, so this is a cow. So it's not the past tense of burned. It's not, hey guys, bind them and you burned them, because that doesn't make sense. You can't bind something in the future but then have burned it before you bound it, right? So this is actually giving a command following the imperative over here. So bind them and burn them, or bind them and you shall burn them. Okay? So WCPs are usually going to be non-past, as they are in sequence with some imperfect or volitional verb form. Okay? Bind them and burn them? I don't think so, for one reason, and that is that story is in Aramaic in the book of Daniel. Yeah. All right. I'm not sure where that's coming from. Anyhow, other questions? If I were going to tell a woman to bind them, what would that look like? Isroom would become what? Isreem. The shurik becomes a kurik yod for you woman. Isreem. Okay, so Isroom, hey guys, bind them. Isreem, hey woman, bind them. All right. The masculine singular for with the imperative. Okay. Yeah, so what we'd have is we'd have asor for the masculine singular imperative in the cow. So the basic form would look like that. Asor, right? And then when we want to add a pronominal suffix to that, what's going to happen is this is going to end up becoming a kametz katuv. I'm going to silent shava, and then I'll take my pronominal suffix. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at number 8. We didn't do that one together yet, so I'll erase this stuff at the top here. Let's read this together. Ready? Verse 8. Lo techeta la Adonai Elohecha pen toved badarech. All right. So I have lo techeta. Lo techeta. So what's my verbal root here in lo techeta? Chata. Chata. Okay. And so a tav prefix comes before it. All right. So this is a prefix conjugation form, which means it could be imperfect or jussive. Now, what's negating it? Lo. And that means that this has to be which one of the two? Imperfect, because jussives are negated with all. Prefix tav, what does that mean? It could be which two possibilities? 3fs or 2ms. It's either she, woman, or you, man, right? If we keep reading, we're going to see this 2ms pronominal suffix again, which means I'm probably going to be thinking 2ms, okay? And then last question is this going to be Cal, Nifal, PL, Pual, Hithpael, Hofal, Hifil? What are my possibilities here? Well, look at the prefix. What vowel class is a segal? It's I class. Where do I get I class vowels under my imperfect prefix? The Kal and the Nifal, right? Nifal gets I-class vowels. Okay. But what goes under root 1 in the Nifal imperfect? I get a kametz, right? And a doubling dot, although that would go away here with the chet. But it would be something like yipakade, tipakade, right? So this isn't following the Nifal. Could be the Kal. And then was there another I-class? The hith pial, right? But I'd have a tav infix after the nutty prefix. And then remember the hifil, for the hifil hey gets the I-class. But all the other places, we get an A-class vowel under the prefix. Either the hey prefix or the nutty prefixes, they get an A-class vowel. Okay? So I can pretty much limit this then to the Kal. And what does the Kal of chata mean? To sin. Now, what is my normal theme vowel in the Kal imperfect? Yif code, tif code. It's usually holum. Why do I have an A-class vowel here? The aleph a guttural. Gutturals prefer A-class vowels, right? So, how am I going to translate this? Lo techata then is you shall not sin. So what's the difference here between lo plus the second person imperfect versus all plus the second person jussive? All is a more immediate and specific prohibition. Lo plus the imperfect is a general prohibition. All right? So you shall not sin la Adonai. How am I going to translate that lamed with chata? Against. You shall not sin against Adonai. Elohecha? Your God. You shall not sin against Adonai, your God. Pen toved. What's pen? Lest. That's that good old-fashioned word lest that we only use when we're translating the Bible, right? How many of you have ever had your mama tell you, do this lest you perish? Oh, I see that hand. I see that hand. No. Okay, so lest, meaning, here's what you don't want to happen, right? Lest is used for signaling what are negative consequences to be avoided. Now look at toved here. What are my root letters? Aleph, Beit, Dalet. Avad. Is avad with that root 1 aleph a normal 1 aleph or a naughty 1 aleph verb? This is one of the naughty ones, one of the 5. How did we remember the 5? What's my English statement? He said, I am willing to eat whatever I bake, even if I perish. And this is the verb to perish, avad. That means that in the Kal imperfect, it gets that crazy holum imperfect vowel, and the aleph has quiesced, okay? So, lest you, there's that prefix tav again with no ending, that's probably to a mess. Lest you avad, lest you what? Perish, ba-darik, in the way, in the road. Notice this is not a vocal shava. That means that I have what swallowed up here, but I can't see it. I have the hey article, right? It's doubling dot and it's pathak visible here. Why do I have a kametz instead of a segol for Derek? Why not Derek? This is pausal lengthening. Remember, when I have a strong disjunctive accent like the saluk here, it can cause a short vowel to lengthen. And so Derek becomes Darik. Melik becomes Malik. Karam becomes Karam. All right? So in the way. Good. Any other questions? Comments?
On number 8, does it Adonai have a article on it too? Is that why the Lamed has a dot?
Good question. What we actually have, and this is an interesting feature of the word Adonai, is because it's not being vocalized as the divine name, but as Adonai, what we're seeing are some of the vowels for Adonai. The real vowel pointing would be this. A with a katef, pathak, do, nai. Okay? So what I'm going to see with the pointing of the lamed is the pointing that I would get if I had it attached to this word, which would have been a vocal shava, followed by a compound shava to Adonai. And since I can't put those two together, we shoot out both eyes and replace it with a short vowel that corresponds to the compound shava. So it's going to be the pathak. So that's why we have that there. Okay. All right, good. I'm willing to do another one, and I'm also willing to stop. Okay, number 12. Let's read this together. Ready? Nivchara na lanu malik v'nechazak. All right. So we have nivchara. This looks like it could be a verb form. If it is, what are my three root letters? Nivchara. Bachar. Bachar is one of the verbs that you learned several chapters ago. What does it mean? To something that Yahweh does for Israel or to Israel. No, that's shalach, to send. To choose. So Bachar is to choose. Now look what I've got. Before root 1, I have a noon prefix, and after root 3, I have a kametz hey. So what sort of conjugation pattern is that looking like? Cohortative. And it's 1 CP. Okay, so how am I going to translate that? Let us, or may we, okay, and then Bachar, choose. Now take a look at this form, nivchara. Nivchara, the noon prefix, the nutty prefix has a kyric, which is an I-class vowel. Which stem is characteristic of kyrics in the nutty prefixes? The kal. Yep, absolutely. The nifal, but we would get a doubling dot and a kametz under root 1. Yippakade, tippakade, right? So, and that's really it. Unless we have a tav after this, and then it would be hithpael. So this is the kal cohortative, which in the kal, Bachar means to choose. So let's choose. Remember, na is a particle of entreaty, often occurs with volitional forms. You don't really have to translate it. Some people like to translate it as a please, but we just know that it probably is in some sense softening the volitional statement. But let's choose lanu. What's that? For ourselves, or let's choose for us. That's what Gollum always says, right? For us. So this is the preposition lamed and first common plural pronoun, right? So let us choose for us or for ourselves, Malik. A king. Not the king, but a king. There's no article here. Why do I have the kametz? Because of the athnak, which is a strong disjunctive accent, can cause pausal lengthening. Okay, so let us choose for ourselves a king. V'nechazak. What's my three root letters here? Yeah, chet, zayin, kof. Chazak. What does that have to do with the meaning? Being strong or firm, right? So I have a noon prefix. What do you think that might be reflecting? Had a noon prefix over here. Could that be 1 CP? Yeah. Let's assume it's a 1 CP prefix. And that means the vowel class under the first common plural prefix is what vowel class? I class. So this could be a a kal, right? Is it cohortative? No, it has the noon I want, but not the kametz hey on the back end that I want for cohortative. So this might just be the good old kal imperfect, 1 CP. And chazak in the kal means to be strong. So we will be strong. Okay? So here's the idea. Let's choose a king for ourselves and As a result, we will be strong. A lot of English translations will translate a sequence like this, where the first verb being volitional followed by a second verb that this is not a vayiktol, it's not a WCI, there's no pathak doubling dot in the vav, right? With the vav. So this is just a prefix form with a simple conjunction vav. Often will give the nuance of purpose. So let us choose for ourselves a king that we may be strong. Okay? That's reflecting the kind of sentiment that you see in Samuel, where the people want to be like the nations. They want to be strong and have a king who will go out and fight their battles for them. All right. Good? Excellent.